Hi guys, welcome back. This is Judith from JV Art Resources, and I'm bringing you my first installment of my artist tip series. This is where I'll be bringing you a new tip every week from an artist. Could be an expert, it might be just your average person who's starting out in colored pencil even. But it's a tip that somebody wished they knew when they first started out. There's a lot of product out there, there's a lot of information, and sometimes not an easy way to find it. So I'm asking all my artist friends to please help me out with this series and give me some information that I can share with the beginner. So my first resource that I went to is my very good friend Cecilia Kinsey, and she gave me a great tip. It has to do with erasers. She is recommending, it's sort of a two-part eraser process. The Tombow Mono Zero eraser. Now I'm holding it up on this blackboard here with this pencil just so you could get a feel for the size of it. It's very small. It pushes out from the top. You can see there. It's a very skinny little top. And what's great about this is you can highlight with it. You can remove very tight little areas. But there's something better that you really can do before you do that, which helps. And I did a little diagram to show you. Oh, well, first, here is little refill that comes with that. And let me tell you, those last a very long time. I very seldom have to change them. They really go. They have a lot of miles. So now here is something else that Cecilia recommends is mounting putty. There are several brands, and here are two. This is the Scotch brand mounting putty, and this is Loctite mounting putty. This one's blue, this one's white or off-white. They actually have one that comes in a yellow, and it's a little piece of putty. It's kind of firm. You got to work it with your fingers, soften it up a little bit, but it doesn't dry out. It stays really nice on your station. You can just stick it on your board. But here is a little diagram that I did to just show you, give you an idea of what we're talking about. This right here, if you can see, this is 3 layers of color. I actually have Prismacolor Light Umber and Faber-Castell Indian Red and Walnut. So you could tell that's 3 different colors blended together, okay? Now, with the mounting putty, you would take and you would just, like this, of course, on a hard surface. You would lift, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 times, however much it takes. You just keep pressing and lifting, and you will lift up enough color where you could then take your Tombow Mono Zero eraser, and as you can see what I did here, I lifted the color first, and then the X across that is from this eraser. And now over here is the eraser alone. I hope you can see that. The eraser alone still lifted color with the mounting putty. Now that X is pretty light. I mean, you really can get it almost white. Not totally white. Maybe it would depend on the color pencil too. If you had light colors, you might be able to get it lighter. But I did this to show you with a dark color how you could lift with your putty and then use your Tombow eraser, and you could get that paper pretty close, at least enough where you can now lay down new color on top of it. Because as you know, it's very hard to erase colored pencil. So that's Cecilia Kinsey's tip. It's a great one. Make sure you pick up some mounting putty, and make sure you pick up your Tombow Mono Zero eraser. They're not expensive. You can get them at Blick. You can get them on Amazon. I've seen them all over. So it's a great tool. And now I have one more item I want to bring you. Since we're on the subject of erasers, I have this little jar filled with erasers. I have Mars Plastic. That's a great eraser. A little Faber-Castell eraser, which has a cover to keep it clean. That is also a great eraser, not to mention all the other ones I have here. But really, the mounting putty and Tombow are basically all that I use. And this here electric eraser. Now, with this electric eraser, I also use this little sandpaper paddle. This you get in graphite kits, and you could find this in any art store. And as you can see, I go back and forth. I make it pointy, and then with that point, I can go in and highlight. I did that over here. You can see on this, I also made a highlight, which is similar to the Tombow eraser, and it lifts some of that color off. You could also clean up your line drawing, which is really nice. I have that on here as well. I don't know if you can see that one. Little graphite pencil, and then this will just lift that up. A lot of artists don't like to use this because it can damage your paper. You need to be extremely careful when you're using this. You don't want to damage your paper in the middle of your portrait or whatever you're doing. But it's great for highlights, it's great for bringing back highlights and cleaning up your line drawing. And now my very good friend Sherry also has a great tip for you. Sherry Homimi suggests taking this eraser refill and putting it in a sharpener. And then, I don't know if you could see this, but I am sharpening it to a point. Then you stick it in here, and you have the same thing. And it's a lot less messy than doing it on the eraser on the sandpaper paddle like I do. It's just convenient and quick that way, but the eraser makes a nice little point on this. So thank you, Sherry, for that tip. Thank you, Cecilia, for your tip. And that's what I'm bringing you today on erasers. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Please let me know if there's anything that you would like to see. I will get that information for you. And thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, like, and share if you like what you saw here. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Make time to create.